So, with Rusty Davis once again at the helm of Doctor Who, I wanted to take the time to update my spin-offs video from 2 years ago, because I'd say quite a lot has changed regarding Doctor Who recently, what with certain characters getting their own Big Finish series and whatnot. So here's what I was able to come up with. So some of these are actually from my original list, and some of them are actually new. So let's get into it. So starting off, we've got a Torchwood continuation, which was on my previous list. Now, so I did put this on my list last time, but given RTD's return to Doctor Who and given the recent state of John Barrowman's public image, I doubt we'll be seeing Captain Jack anytime soon. But despite that, there are still characters from the Torchwood world that are kicking about in the modern day. And here's the idea I've got. It's been over 10 years since the events of Miracle Day, and Jack has mysteriously disappeared, and the world needs Torchwood again. So Gwen Cooper comes out of retirement to recruit a new Torchwood team including Andy Davidson, Reese, and possibly Martha Jones. We'll have to wait and see, but I think personally it could work. Although it depends on the timeline, so I know Big Finish should actually factor into this as well, because some characters are doing different things. I'm not too up to date on anything, so let me know what you think. Okay, next up, Unit. So we don't know what Unit's fate is right now, since they'll likely be playing a role in the Centenary special later this year, but I for one would love to see what Unit is up to when the Doctor isn't on Earth, and with the Task Force also back in the 60th anniversary, or at least part of it, I think we could get a Unit spin-off focusing on Unit defending the Earth in the Doctor's absence. So I think this spin-off would feature characters such as Osgood, John Benton, and possibly Kate Stewart, assuming she doesn't die in the Centenary special. But there are also other Unit characters from the RTD era like Captain Magumbo and Colonel Mace, who are some very big parts of David Tennant's latest stories in Doctor Who, and that is something I'd love to see explored. Okay, next up, the Paternoster Gang. So despite being introduced in the Moffat era of the show, the Paternoster Gang has a fair chance of making a return to Doctor Who. So for those who don't actually remember, the Paternoster Gang consisted of Madame Vastra, Jenny, and Commander Strax. I imagine this almost being like a detective thriller story, where they're solving murder cases like Jack the Ripper, or even something more mystical as well. This is Doctor Who, so villains can show up at any time. I don't really have any more ideas along those lines, but I'm sure Russ can come up with something maybe. Next up, an animated series. So I think it's pretty strange how Doctor Who haven't moved into the realm of a full-length animated series yet. I know that Shada was partially animated because that story was partially completed. Now, I think there's a huge market for a Doctor Who animated show, and given that Marvel have proved it time and time again, I think it could work. Now, I didn't actually have anything specific to this, so I think there's a lot of freedom to be had with an animated Doctor Who series. One example I've seen thrown around is a what-if style series exploring alternate timelines within the Doctor Who universe. I'd list off some examples, but I have a fair few on that topic already. And last but not least, we have The Adventures of Luke Smith. Now, unfortunately, we can't bring back the Sarah Jane Adventures because Elizabeth Sladen is sadly no longer with us, but much like Torchwood, there are still characters from that world still kicking about in modern day, and I think there's one character that deserves his own spin-off: Luke Smith. Now, if you're not familiar with the Sarah Jane Adventures, Luke Smith is sort of the adopted son of Sarah Jane. He was created by an alien race called the Bane, if my memory serves me correctly. And with Elizabeth Sladen, again, sadly no longer with us, I think Luke Smith is the only logical choice to actually take over from where his mother started. Now, the reason I say Luke Smith is because he's the only character that I think would still be looking into alien threats, and because he's the daughter of one of the most popular companions in Doctor Who canon. So maybe seeing Luke's adventures continuing his mother's legacy with K9 possibly returning, and maybe some other classic companions showing up. I mean, Tegan and Ace are showing up in the Centenary, so it would be pretty cool to see some other classic companions turn up here. I mean, Nyssa could certainly turn up. I don't know what happened to her. I mean, if dimensions are still a thing in Doctor Who, maybe Rose could turn up, I don't know. But that's what I was able to come up with. So that does it for this video, and I'm pretty intrigued on how this has turned out. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think of this. So thanks for watching, subscribe, like the video, etc. And I'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone.